knows by now, who follows the sport of boxing, unified welterweight champion Errol Spence is now in the ICU unit in hospital in critical condition. And really, really shocking news. First thing this morning, I gotta say, even before I checked my Google News feed, which has a lot of boxing in it because that's one of my interests. I check that every morning, but before I could even check that, Jason Shaw, a regular listener of the show, called me and informed me of this news first thing in the morning while I was on my way to work. And usually when I get to work, that's when I open up my Google News feed. And but this wasn't even in the Google News feed story, so it took a while for people to kind of catch on to this. My my friend at work who listens to the radio, he listens to Fox News on the radio. Basically, he heard it on Fox News radio, and we talked about it when I got to work. But I was just shocked to hear this, man. This is horrible, horrible, horrible news. Apparently, Errol Spence was in his Ferrari speeding at approximately 3 a.m. in the morning, and the car just turned over a couple of times. It spun. It was horrible. There's a video. Eric sent this to me. There's a video on Twitter, and it's just horrible, horrible to see this because this was a crazy, crazy accident. The car like spun and it flipped a couple times, and Errol Spence got flung from the car, and one of his shoes came off. I mean, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, and obviously he didn't have a seatbelt on, so that's why he got ejected from the car. But you have to ask yourself, you know, what was he doing at 3 a.m. in the morning, speeding, and driving recklessly at that time? I mean, obviously, it's not something that you should be doing at that time. And we don't know these boxers personally, obviously most of us, but some of us have met them. I know people have met Errol Spence. They say he seems like a really, really great guy. When you see Errol Spence on television, when they do the promos for his fights, it always shows him with his two little girls, and he seems like a very, very loving father. So I mean, none of us are perfect. Now, obviously, we've also seen Errol Spence on other videos, kind of at fights, kind of slurring his words, looking a little bit glassy-eyed. There have been rumors that he does like to party, likes to drink, and have a good time. But you have to ask yourself: was he coming from a party? Was he drinking? Nothing has been said. Even the extent of his injuries haven't been reported, so we don't even know. But obviously, if he's in serious condition or critical condition, he was in serious condition. Now he's in critical condition. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing, man. Like I said, this guy does have a history of partying. I've seen him like kind of looking drunk on video before at fights. I can only hope that he wasn't drinking while he was driving this vehicle, this Ferrari. And this is the wrong vehicle that you want to be driving without seatbelts on, because this car is just not made for safety. Oh, someone in the chat said he was leaving from a club last night. So you can only suspect, and you have to suspect strongly that he was drinking, man. You have to suspect strongly that he was drinking. And, you know, I'm sure a lot of us are wondering, if he recovers from this, will he be able to fight again? I know that's kind of callous and it's kind of cold to think about that now when there's more important things to think about, but it has to cross your mind. I mean, obviously, you have to be thinking about that a little bit right now. Now, obviously, you want him to do well because he's got a family. You want him to go back to his children, and you know, at least we know that these injuries aren't life threatening, so he will pull through. But you have to ask yourself, what type of quality of life will he have? Will he make a full recovery? Will there be any residual effect from these injuries? Because when you look at that accident, man, that was a serious accident, man. That was a serious accident, and you can kind of see vaguely him getting like flown out of the car. His shoe fell off and everything. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. So this was a shocker. It's very sad. It's very unfortunate. And this was like, Paul Williams getting on a motorcycle. We all know what happened with him. Became paralyzed from the waist down because he was speeding on a motorcycle. And this is another similar incident. I mean, these guys have a lot ahead of them, and they have to really, really, really think ahead, not just for themselves, but for their families, because, this doesn't last forever, and the money can run out. So you got to be able to make as much as you can in as short a period of time as you can. And, Errol Spence's career was really, really starting to take off. And again, this is bigger than boxing, but also we realize that this is bigger than boxing, but he still has a family to take care of. So that's important too. And we don't know, what's going to happen, moving forward with, after this injury. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if he's going to be able to fight again. We don't know how serious these injuries are. Obviously, they're serious, but we don't know if they're career ending injuries. We don't know if they're career ending injuries. So this was a guy that had the world at his feet, basically. The world was his oyster. He had it all laid out in front of him. Beautiful career laid out in front of him, with many, many fights laid out in front of him. He's got two beautiful daughters. He's got a great family, it seems. He seems like he's got a good support system, got good people around him. But again, this partying type lifestyle, there's never a happy ending to it. There's never a happy ending to it. There's always something that could happen. Something like this, you go out, you drink, and you have to ask yourself, people must have seen him getting in that car. And again, I don't want to suspect too strongly, but 3 a.m. after a club, speeding in a Ferrari, no seatbelt. I have to suspect that he probably wasn't in a condition to be driving. You have to kind of suspect that. You have to suspect that, given the scenario. Not much has been said, and obviously you want to respect the family. You don't want to put too much stuff out there, and you don't want to pry too much. But again, not much has been said about this, and usually when that happens, there's usually something that's being held back. Again, I don't want to be overly suspicious here. I don't want to, put false information out there, but I have a hard time, believing that there wasn't something wrong with Errol Spence. I have a hard time believing that he shouldn't have been behind the wheel of that car at 3 a.m. coming out of a club in the condition that he was in. That's just my opinion. I just, when you just look at everything and look at all of the information that we know right now, getting in a Ferrari like 3 a.m. coming out of a club, and we already know that he does like to drink. He has a history of drinking. Even if he wasn't totally intoxicated, I'm sure he was a little tipsy leaving that club. I can't say I'm sure, but I strongly suspect he was a little bit tipsy leaving that club. And I just hope that the injuries aren't to the extent where there's going to be some residual effect. There's going to be some lingering damage to him, irreparable damage to him moving forward. We can only hope and pray for him, moving forward. We really have to have our thoughts go out to him in this serious time. And again, like, we don't know these fighters personally. We follow them, we watch them on TV, but you can get a sense that who who's the good ones and who's the not so good ones. I mean, like Adrian Broner, obviously we wouldn't wish anything bad on him, but we know he's kind of he lives a kind of a crazy lifestyle, reckless lifestyle, does a lot of crazy things. But Errol Spence, he did like to party, but he still seemed like a good family man. Seemed like a really good guy, down to earth guy, very friendly person. And all the interviews that he did, all the media appearances that he did, all the shows that he was on, just really seemed like he had a good head on his shoulders. But this one problem that he does have is he does like to party. It seems that's the word on the street, is that he does like to party, does like to have a good time, and does like to drink a little bit. So, oh, he is talking. Legendary Boxer says he's talking. Okay, that's great. That's awesome. That's awesome. If anyone in this chat has more information that they could give, or if they hear any new news, please feel free to give the information. And Legendary Boxer says 10 million in one night can change any man. Yeah, I'm gonna put a link into the description box, and if anyone wants to join in here, because I don't have the blog talk open. I don't do the blog talk when I do my live feeds. That's Eric's thing. He's the tech guy, so he knows how to do that. But if anyone wants to jump in, feel free to jump in if they want to chime in with their opinion, with their information. He's not in critical condition. He's in the ICU. He's in the ICU unit, so that means he's in critical condition. He's being checked on every 15 minutes. Unless you can provide information that says he's not in critical condition, then I'll change the title of the video. But if you're in the ICU unit, you're considered critical condition, my friend. That means you're being checked on every 15 minutes. So, yeah. So you should kind of do some research. I lean on syrup probably is incredible. What does that mean, I lean on syrup? I lean on syrup. What's that mean? Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no seatbelt is mind-boggling. That's kind of crazy that he didn't have a seatbelt on. I agree with that. Especially driving a car like that. Why you wouldn't have a seatbelt on is beyond me. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, again, all we can do is hope. Dude's name who made the comment about ICU. Report said serious condition. I believe it was serious to critical. He entered in serious and then he went to critical. I mean, are we gonna really nitpick at this? I mean, it's not good. I mean, he got in a serious accident and he suffered some pretty major injuries, and he's in the intensive care unit. I mean, that's, whenever you're in the intensive care unit, that's not a good thing, guys. I mean, I mean, whether you want to sit here and nitpick, he was in critical condition. He's in the ICU. He's in the ICU unit. Serious conditions worse than critical. So I don't know. Let's exactly, Omar. Let's focus on him, like getting, like, hope he's gonna get better, hope he's getting better, hope he's feeling well, like he's gonna, let's just hope and wish a speedy recovery for the guy. He was in serious condition, then it went to critical. So serious is the worst, and then when you get downgraded to critical, he's in the ICU. I mean, that's he's not in there for a paper cut, guys. I mean, let's not nitpick here. This shit is fake, bro. Spence would be dead. How could it be fake? Did you see the car? What do you? Wow, we have some really weird people here. YouTube's awesome. I'm telling you, YouTube brings out some real interesting characters, man. Now someone's saying that the whole thing is fake. When there's a video of the car flipping over, and he's in the hospital bed right now. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. But we're just gonna ignore this ridiculousness, man. Just gonna ignore this ridiculousness. But yeah, we have to respect the family. We don't know the whole story. From what I've heard, I guess he had some. Jason was telling me that the family said he had some issues with his teeth. That some of his teeth fell out. If his shoe fell off, then it's hard. He's got to have a bunch of broken bones. He's gotta have, like, broken something. Yo, Beeb, I would like to see Usyk Chisora. Yeah, that's great, but that's another topic. But I'm sure that fight will happen, possibly down the road. But right now, I'm talking about Errol Spence, not Usyk. But Usyk we'll be talking about later. That's right, Dale. It was reported on the national news wires this morning. It's real news. Yep. Yep. Errol seems to be much better than initially thought. What is the extent of his injuries? Does anyone know the condition that Errol Spence is in right now? Someone said that he's up, he's talking, and he's able to talk and stuff. But what is the full extent of his injuries? Does anyone know? Has any more information been released? I know that he's talking now and he's awake. That's a good thing. So I'm sure he's gonna. Hopefully, he just continues to improve. Sean Porter went on Instagram and wished him a speedy recovery too, and said his thoughts and prayers are with him too. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Put my earphones in. I forgot to put my earphones in. Mixed reports over Instagram. You don't know what's true. Yeah, I heard some silly rumors going around. People saying anything. Yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Can only hope for the best here, man. Can only hope for the best. But Errol Spence, he seemed like a real cool dude, man. Did seem like a real cool dude. Does seem like a real cool dude. I don't know. Does anyone know anything else? Can anyone add anything to the story? Does anyone? Has there been any more updates? So I'm going to be checking periodically myself to see if there's any new news on Errol Spence's condition. I want to see if I don't think he was racing another car. It only showed one car. I don't think he was racing another car. If he was in a convertible and got ejected with no seatbelt, that probably saved him. That car was smashed. Yeah, That car was in that car was in horrible condition, man. That car was jacked up. Do you see that car? It looked like it was just destroyed. Another car was behind him. I didn't see it in the video. They only showed one car on Instagram. On the Twitter video, whatever the video, they only showed one car. I didn't see any other cars. So he was in serious condition, and now he's in critical condition. Serious is worse than critical. Let's see what the update says. Oh, there's a longer video on YouTube. All right, I'll check it out. If you say if it's out there, it's out there. I don't know. America gonna have y'all forever. No, we're not gonna go into this craziness. Let's see what his condition is now. 20 minutes ago, Fox 4 News Dallas Fort Worth. Let's see what this story says. Let's see what the update is. It says crash happened around 3 a.m. on the Riverfront Boulevard near Interstate 30. Dallas police said a 29-year-old from DeSoto was speeding when he lost control of his sports car, flipped several times, and he hit a streetlight pole. Wow. Police say Spence was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the car. Responding officers found him lying on the street. He was taken to the Methodist Dallas Medical Center with serious but not life-threatening injuries. He's on the rise. He's arguably one of the best fighters in the game today, said Chris Arnold with 105 Fan Radio. He just unified. Okay, let's see. Now they're talking. Sean Porter wished him a speedy recovery. The first thing comes to mind when someone says Errol, I say very humble. Brooke said. Marcus Brooke actually is coached by the brother of Errol Spence's coach, so he was saying some good things about him too. Spence remains in the ICU intensive care unit, but his injuries do not appear life-threatening. A spokesman said his parents are now with him at the hospital. So he's in the ICU. That's the intensive care unit. So when you're in the ICU, you're in critical condition. So I'm sure he's going to be fine. I'm sure he's not in life-threatening injuries, but still has to be watched. Okay, he was changed from serious to critical. Yeah, okay. That's where it says here. That's 6 hours ago. So he's still in the ICU, guys. Until he's out of the ICU, he will be listed as critical condition. Hopefully, I'm sure he's going to continue to progress, and eventually, he'll be out of the ICU. No, serious is not below critical. Serious is worse than critical. That's not correct. Critical does not mean life-threatening. Critical does not mean death. No, it doesn't. You don't have to be near death to be in the intensive care unit. You can have very bad injuries and not be life-threatening. So I'm in the medical field. I know my sister's a nurse. I used to work in healthcare. Please, we're gonna argue with this. Everyone wants to come on and just be a contrarian. They want to argue, and they just want to start arguments for no reason when they don't know what they're talking about. He's in the intensive care unit. It said that he went from serious to critical condition. You don't know what critical condition is. You're wrong. serious. Vital signs may be unstable and not within normal limits. Patient is acutely ill. Indicators are questionable. Critical. Vital signs are unstable and not within normal limits. Patient may be unconscious. Indicators are unfavorable. They're both very similar. They're both very similar. Vital signs may be unstable and not within normal limits. Patient is acutely ill. Indicators are questionable. Critical. Vital signs are unstable and not within normal limits. Patient may be unconscious. May be unconscious. Indicators are unfavorable. So questionable and unfavorable. I mean, no, critical does not mean he's in a coma. That's not correct. That's not correct. So he was in critical condition. Now he's in serious condition. He's still not in fair condition yet, and he's still not in good condition yet. So it is what it is. He's still in serious condition. So there's not much more of a difference between critical and serious. There's some difference, so it is what it is. So we'll feel a lot better when he's not in serious or critical. So yeah. Well, he was in critical condition, so does have two kids. I hope he pulls through too as well. So I really do. Yeah, there's not much more stories going on. They're not updating it. There's no update here. Yeah. Yeah, critical is worse than serious, but it's not that much. There's not that he's still in serious condition, so he's doing better. That is a good thing. That is a good thing. But until he's out of serious, you know, he's still going to be in the ICU. He's still going to be in the intensive care unit. So I guess his vital signs are becoming more stable now. I suspect he was under the influence. I suspect he was under the influence. I hate to say it, but I suspect he was. He obviously doesn't care about his two babies since he's out DW. I mean, that's kind of a ridiculous comment. You guys have to have some sort of heart, man. You guys have to have some sort of heart. This is no time to sit there and take shots at a guy who's in the ICU unit who's got a family at home. You can't say he doesn't care about his children. Don't you see him with his children? Everywhere he goes, he's got his babies in his hands. You can't say he doesn't care about his kids. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, someone's saying that he's posting videos of himself 30 minutes before the accident happened in the bar. I didn't see that, but who knows? But again, we have to suspect that he was he was coming out of a club. We have to suspect that he was partying and drinking. I mean, and we've already seen him on video slurring his words, looking a little tipsy before, after fights that he went to as a spectator. So maybe he's got a problem. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about his kids. Maybe he's got a problem. Maybe he's got an alcohol problem. I mean, he's still young himself. What's he, 28 years old? Raphael says he posted a video of his friend dancing in a bar. Ralph, I put a link in the description box if you want to. You can hop on if you want and talk about this. If you have any opinions on this, man, feel free to jump on if you want, man. It's up to you if you want to jump on or not. But this is crazy, man. You're not thinking rational if you have a problem with alcohol. Nothing to do with caring about kids. Exactly. Everyone wants to sit there and character assassinate this guy. He's not the first guy that likes to go out and party. Yeah, he didn't hurt anyone but himself, so we can't sit there and say he's a bad person and character assassinate the guy because he got in an accident, man. We don't know. I mean, we don't know. We don't even know to the extent even if he was intoxicated or not. But if he's out there drinking and partying at a club with his friends, dancing and stuff, then the video shows he was raised in another vehicle. You're the second person to say that, so I don't know. I'm sure as time goes on, we're gonna start hearing more about the details of this, man, like the accidents and stuff, and we're gonna hear more about it, man. The police are charging you with DWI. I didn't hear that, bro. I didn't hear that. You can post a link to the story that he's getting charged with a DWI, then we can confirm that. But until then, we don't know. I didn't hear that though. You heard that? You heard that or two earlier? All right, so this is good, man, because now we're getting more information here. So now we found out he was raised in another vehicle, and possibly he could be convicted with a DWI. So he's probably under the influence racing another vehicle, which, again, is very, very, very bad judgment. You tagged me in what, Jason? You have a video of him racing the other video. Oh, okay. Live Dallas reporter said DWI is possible. Okay. All right. Thank you, brother. Okay. I'm sorry, Top Rounder. I apologize. Eric's coaching soccer. No racing charges. No racing DWI. Okay. Yeah, I didn't see another Jason, did you see another vehicle? It is irresponsible behavior. I'm not. Listen, we're not going to sit here and say Errol Spence didn't exercise bad judgment. We're not saying that, but to sit there and say he doesn't care about his kids is a little strong. He could have injured other people. That's correct. It was very irresponsible. I'm not denying that. But someone put a comment in the chat that he doesn't care about his kids because he's drinking and driving. I'm not gonna go that far to say he doesn't care about his kids. No, I'm not saying you said that, JC. I'm not accusing. Listen, you guys don't have to walk on eggshells here. I'm not. You guys can say whatever you want. But if I think something sounds crazy, I'm gonna comment on it. Like, you guys have a right to your own opinion. I've said this many times. You have a right to your own opinion, and I have a right to criticize your opinion if I feel like it needs to be criticized. And you can criticize me right back. That's what I'm here. I put myself out here doing these videos. I have every right to be criticized. Ferraris are like probably Ferraris, Lamborghinis, all those cars are like they're like the most impractical cars you could ever drive because they're not safe. Porsches are probably more safer than Ferraris and Lamborghinis, but I've seen people die in Porsches too, man, or getting serious. I've heard someone crash a 928S, and I think someone crashed a 928S, and I think they passed away because they got in a serious accident with that. So Ferraris and Lambos are death traps, but Porsches, I think Porsches and Audis have like crumple zones, so when you hit them, that like they don't crumple up. They just the whatever you like, the fenders or the front fenders, whatever, they'll just fall off or whatever. So yeah, Paul Walker died in the Porsche. That's okay. That's right. That's what I thought. I think it was a 928S. Yeah. Thank you, Jason. That's why I like when you guys are in the chat. You can help me out here. I knew it was somebody famous that died in a Porsche. But once you're going over a certain speed limit and you crash, was it a 9? What the fuck is a 918? You sure it wasn't a 928? I thought it was a 928. I never heard of a 918 Porsche. I heard of a 911 and a 928. Never heard of a 918 though. I heard of a 959 too. 959. Never heard of a 918, but okay. Don't speed, Corey. Drive safe. You have the wreck posted on your IG. Corey, was he racing another car? Because some people are saying he was racing another car, and now some people are saying that it could possibly be DWI. What did you hear, Corey? And in your video, is there another car where he's racing? Because the video I saw, I only saw the car turn over. I didn't see him racing. Did you see him racing? I didn't see him racing. A couple people in the chat said that he was racing. I didn't see him racing. Definitely speeding. We know that. We know he was speeding. See if I can find any more information on the web. Yeah, they have a video. CBS has a video. CBS DFB has a video. You see the video of two cars that just drove by the accident. When the car flipped, there was an SUV that came into view. What was weird is the SUV kept driving. Okay. Yeah, he's probably going 100 or better. Doesn't say though. Oh, a lot of fighters are giving him a lot of support, sending their thoughts and prayers to him. Yeah, there's a video out there though. There's videos out there. Errol Spence in intensive care after Ferrari crash. Video shows car flipping. Yeah, so there's no updates. Yeah, he's lucky he walked away from this though. He didn't walk away, but he's lucky he's not in worse condition than he is in. But we don't know the extent of his injuries. We really don't. I could tell you one thing: if I would have seen the accident, I would have stopped and called 911 and made sure that these people made sure that yeah. I mean, I agree with you, of course. I mean, any responsible, caring person would have just stopped and called 911 instead. I kept going. Yeah, there's suspicion that he was drinking and driving. Could be a possible DWI. The police said, according to people in the chat. That's what they said, but I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, if I had the money these guys had, I wouldn't be driving Ferraris and Lamborghinis. I'd be driving friggin' I'd probably be driving like a BMW 5 Series or something, or a 740i or something like that. Nice BMW. I don't want to sit there and. Fred from Barbershop said he talked to the hospital for like an hour and said it was pretty much like he was in a 12-round fight. Um, so Fred just called the hospital and they let him talk to him. Nah, I wouldn't want a sports car, brother. When I was young, I used to drive. When I was young, I used to have Mustang GTS and IROC Z28s, and all I used to do was get in trouble, man. Get speeding tickets. When I started getting in my you know my late 20s, I grew out of that shit. My when I was 25, I stopped buying sports cars when I was like I went in the military when I was like 21, and when I came out, I was like 25. I didn't buy sports cars anymore. I didn't buy them. I started just buying regular cars, man. Yeah, yeah. Serves him right for speeding. Again, another stupid comment. Doesn't serve like. Why would you wish that on anybody? I mean, why you guys like? I'm not even gonna really get into it with some of you guys, but it's just guys are just ridiculous. I wish you guys would I wish you guys that are my moderators would take care of some of these idiots in the chat for me, please, because they're really saying some stupid stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Fred knows. I don't know how close he is with the family. I don't know. I just know that it's hard to get information unless you're immediate family. That's all I know. I worked in the medical field, and you just not anyone, even friends, can't call up and ask for information. You have to get you have to be like immediate family to be getting information, unless the family That's all I know. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like once you get like to a certain age, you realize. I mean, he was 28 years old, so I mean, he's I don't know. When I was 28, I thought a lot differently than when I was 20, 25, 24, 21. So yeah, I'm not sure that they just is he 29, 28, 29, whatever. Yeah, is he 29? Probably. Yeah, he's 29. Let me see. He was born in 1990. So yeah, he's 29. Yeah, you're right. He's 29 years old. Yeah, I mean he's 29 years old. Uh, Again, he probably never had a Ferrari before. Probably still, I don't know. This shows he was never a great fighter because to do this you need a level of understanding which guys. I mean we gotta really start checking some of these guys in the chat. My moderators. I mean these are stupid. These are really bad comments. I don't know why you guys are letting this stuff slip through. We got to start blocking some of these people. Stop putting these people in timeouts. I gave all you guys wrenches. You're not. I mean, you guys got to step up and do your job, please. Who's Robbie? Robbie. I don't know who Robbie is. We don't have any. We don't have a Robbie on the show anymore. Why would Robbie be here? Yeah, trolls are out heavy today. Trolls are out heavy today. Yeah, so all we can do, man. There's not much more we can say about this. I guess now he's in serious condition. He's not in critical condition anymore. Radio Raheem said he went from critical to serious. So from serious to critical. I don't know. I don't know. So there's mixed stories out there. But whatever the case may be, seems to be improving, and hopefully he continues to improve. And we can only wish the best for him, and hope for a speedy recovery for Errol Spence Jr. That's about all I got today, guys. If anyone has anything else, any updates, Spence already accomplished more than most boxers ever do. Yeah, he's. I mean, not everyone can become a champion. Not everyone can become a champion. All right, guys. Well, we'll keep following this story. We'll see if Spence continues to improve. I'm a little, just a little down. I'm a little down right now. I hate to hear stories like this, man. This stuff really kind of bums me out. That's why I'm a little bit bummed out. I'm a little bit monotone today, man. I'm speaking kind of softly today because I just don't like to hear stuff like this, guys. I'm not happy about this stuff. I think this is horrible news, and I really liked Errol Spence. He seemed like a real cool guy. He seemed like a really good person, and I hate to see stuff like this happen to people, to anybody, really. Least of all, a guy like Errol Spence, who's had a family, seemed like a very loving father, had the world at his feet, had his great future ahead of him. I hope he just pulls through, man. I hope he pulls through, man. All right, guys. Till next time, Bieber's out. And if anyone gets any more news, feel free to drop a comment or send me a message or at me on Twitter. Let me know what's going on with this, because I really would like to know how Errol Spence is doing, and if he continues to improve. I'd love to get updates on that. All right, Bieber's out. Until next time, peace. Thank you so much for watching. And I wish I could have put out a more positive show for you guys, but this is just kind of a horrible news, kind of a sad day for me. But we'll talk to y'all soon, guys. Peace out. Thank you once again, and keep supporting the channel. Make sure you check us out every Sunday night. Ringside Reporter Podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, peace out, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.